technically we were homeless. Hey y'all, it's Anthony's. Welcome to or back to my channel. If you all are new here, I am a faith-based content creator who just recently decided to rededicate her page back to the Lord with the hopes of not only spreading his love, but also his word. If you all are new here, I would love for you to stick around and join the family. Go ahead and hit that like button as well as that subscribe button so you guys can stay in the loop on when I post more content. As you can tell by the title, I want to share with you all our apartment testimony. It's technically a townhouse, but for the sake of the title, I'm going to call it our apartment testimony. And there are parts of the story that are still in the test mode, right? Not all of it is a testimony yet, but a great deal of it is a testimony, and we have seen the hand and the grace of God. And I really want to share it with you all in hopes of encouraging someone who may be in a similar situation, encouraging someone who may be seeking God for a miracle, and you just do not see the resolve yet. You don't see the end of it yet. And I'm just here to tell you that God is going to come through and he is going to exceed your expectations. Now, I could literally spend hours telling the full details of this story, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to tell the very high level, important details of this story. And if for whatever reason you guys want to hear more about the story in detail, go ahead and comment below and I'll be sure to respond. Now, back in 2021, we experienced a fire at our primary residence, and because of that fire, we were displaced. Our home was totally uninhabitable, and thankfully we had insurance on the property, so our insurance company was able to get us temporary housing. The temporary housing that we were living in was absolutely beautiful, and I know it was the grace of God that had us there as well. Now, during our tenure at the temporary housing, we were actively pursuing the renovations for our property, and we ended up hiring a contractor. This contractor was supposed to be a licensed, reputable person, and we paid him a very large sum of money, of which I am not even going to say, because even talking about it sometimes is a challenge for me, because I find myself reverting to certain feelings and emotions that I try to stay away from. But I trusted this contractor with a large sum of money, and he did not hold up his end of the bargain, nor did he refund us our money. He did not do the repairs that he was supposed to do, and he completely stopped answering phone calls and text messages. I had to get my lawyer involved, and that part of this story is still in the test mode, because we have not been recompensed for that yet. But I'm trusting God with that, just like he came through with every other part of the story. I know he's going to come through with that as well, and it will be a testimony. So because we trusted him with such a large amount of money, we had to pivot our plan. And I just want to pause right there and say that sometimes storms arise, but that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you quit. You don't give up. Sometimes you just have to present your case to God and ask him how you move forward. Ask him how you pivot. Ask him how you still pursue the promise, even despite the storm that arises. I remember days where I would literally be so depressed because of the situation, and I would be stuck on my couch. I literally couldn't move. And I found myself crying out to God. I found myself crying out to God for help. Literally, in my dining room, I would literally be crying out to God, asking for his help, asking for his intervention, asking for a breakthrough, asking for a miracle, because this was something that we could not figure out on our own. This was a situation that we could not get ourselves out of. I believe that God used this situation to develop a tenacity in us that we did not have prior to it. And because of that, we decided not to trust another person with our renovations, and instead we organized a business and we hired subcontractors to finish the renovations. Now, during this time, we were still living at the temporary home, and we got to the point where our lease was expiring. It was not an option to extend the lease. We could not afford to extend the lease, paying out of our own pockets. The amount of that monthly rent was just totally outside of our affordability. And during that time, I was pregnant, and I decided to take off of work during my pregnancy. So we were not in a financial situation to be able to buy another property, and we were very limited as to what we could afford for rent. We approached the end of our lease and we had not finished the renovations. Extending the lease was not an option. So technically we were homeless. We did not have a residence of our own. We did not have a place to call our own. During that time, we were staying at multiple Airbnbs. We even stayed at a hotel for a couple of days. And we just, honestly, we ran out of options. We were applying to different apartments and different houses for rent, but we could not get approved. And the housing market, anyone who knows the housing market in itself, it is like a beast that has just been growing and growing and growing. Part of the reason we kept getting denied is because although we had a business, we had not been established for more than 2 years. And a lot of times houses and apartments want to see that long length of income, steady income from one stream in order to get approved. And we did not have that. At that point, we were literally at the mercy of God. At that point, we literally needed a miracle. And I truly believe that God makes all things work together for our good. The things that we don't understand, the things that we deem as bad, the things that we deem as ugly, God is literally able to take that and make it work together for our good. And we were a prime example of that. He took this bad situation where someone literally took advantage of us, someone literally stole from us, and he turned that into a blessing, and he turned that into something that worked for our good. For a period of about 2 weeks, we stayed at a couple of different Airbnbs, and we stayed a couple nights at a hotel. During that time, we were actively applying for places, and we kept getting denial after denial after denial. And there was this one specific place we applied to, and they denied us. And I remember calling the leasing agent, and I was just asking him, like, why is it that we're getting denied? What is causing us to be denied of this application? They were not willing to accept the fact that we were using our business as a source of income because we had not had it established for more than 2 years. So at that point, I was out of options, and we were staying at the very last Airbnb that we stayed at, and we were cleaning up because it was checkout time. And at this time, I was pregnant with my youngest son, and I remember cleaning up, taking trash outside to the trash can, and I felt so defeated. I was walking to the trash can literally with my head pointed to the ground because I did not know what was going to happen. I did not know what the end was going to be. And I remember feeling so defeated. I remember feeling like I failed my family. I remember feeling like I was just so stupid for trusting this person, this business with all of this money. I just was thinking of every reason as to why I was to blame for the situation that we were in. And as I was walking to the trash can, I heard God say, plain as day, lift up your head. And I did. And I remember thinking, Lord, I don't know what you have planned, but I'm just gonna trust you. Like I don't have any other options. So we left the Airbnb and we were at my boyfriend's mother's house. I was sitting at her coffee table. I opened up my laptop and I started filling out an application for one more place. And this place that I was filling out the application for was absolutely beautiful. It was beyond what I could have asked God for. It was beyond what I believed God for, because we had never stayed in a place that was our own that looked like this. And I filled out the application, and at that time, I was actually waiting on the last place who had denied us to reach back out to me. I had asked him if he could escalate our application to the property manager to see if we were able to get approved. And I was waiting on a response from him. But in the meantime, I decided to fill out another application. And I filled out that application and I reached out to the leasing company and I let them know, hey, I filled out this application. Do you guys have any vacancies? If so, how soon could we move in if we were able to get approved for the place? So as I was speaking to the leasing agent, she went on to tell me what documents I needed to send her, and basically was just running through the lease with me. And this was on a Wednesday. And I remember telling God, like, Lord, this place is so beautiful. We don't even, if you don't do this for us, I will be okay with it. We just need something. We just need anything. And while I was filling out that second application, the other place reached out to me and told me that they were denying the application. And I truly believe that God will allow you to exhaust every one of your resources just to be in that blessed place that He has for you. I finished filling out the application, and not even hours later, we got the approval. And the leasing agent reached out to me and she said, we were able to get you approved. You guys can come and you can check out the townhouse and do your walkthrough. And we came in and we did the walkthrough, and I was amazed. I was totally amazed. We literally went from being homeless to being approved for a luxury townhouse, and God did it so fast, and He exceeded any expectations that I could have had. This place, and this is the place that we're residing in now, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is more than what we could have thought to ask for. And it just goes to show that God is capable of exceeding our expectations. We ended up getting approved on a Wednesday. We were able to move in on a Friday. And when I tell y'all, you will not have to lie. You will not have to scheme or cheat your way into the blessings of God. If you just position yourself in the will of God, He will literally blow your mind with what He does. He can take your little and make it a lot. He can take what you don't deem you're approved for and give you that approval. And we are literally a testament of that. I really hope that this empowers you to just trust God and to trust Him with your process, and trust the fact that He can take everything that was meant to destroy you and turn it around for your good. I hope you are encouraged and that you are able to take your trust and faith in God to another level. Bye.